You know, it's refreshing to see that within the story of My Hero Academia, memes also exist. Can't see a kun. I want that shirt. I really do. Can we talk about that burn that Shoto gave his father at the beginning of this chapter? Like, the savage levels was off the charts. Like, honestly, I had to do a double take. When I read that part in the chapter and I saw how savage those lines were, I'm like, oh my god, did Shoto just say that to Endeavor? And what I mean by, or what I'm talking about, the scene, is when Endeavor walks in and Shoto looks at him in the face. He's like, that's a nasty scar you got there. And then you see a zoom in on his face where his scar is, and like, whoa, whoa, like, Shoto, like, that's savage. The shade and the savagery of that one line. Like, yo, like, Horikoshi, we all saw what you did there. Like, that was on a whole nother level of burn, okay? Like, yes, pun intended with Todoroki, by the way. But here's the thing I find funny about that scene, like, just which caught me by surprise, is that he looks, it's actually mainly Horikoshi that makes it so good, the way he did the paneling, but the way he looks at Endeavor, like, you see Endeavor's scar, and he's like, that's a nasty scar you got there, and then you see a zoom in as he looks at Endeavor, and you see his scar have a lot of emphasis on his face. I'm like, oh my god, he's pretty much saying, yeah, it sucks, huh, having a scar on your face. Yeah, you could, you know, I know about that, mom did this one to me. So I'm just like, oh my god, like, yeah, Horikoshi, you got me by surprise. You caught me. Like, that was something I did not expect, especially a savage burn like that from Shoto. But okay, let's drop that for now. Let's talk about something that, was revealed. Toya. Toya is the sibling that we have never seen, always have been shadowed out in the chapter. In these recent chapters we got to see, he's been shadowed out. We got a name drop, Toya. Now, personally, I don't know what Toya means. If anyone can clarify and explain to me in the comments below what Toya means, we might be able to understand who this person is, if it really is Dabi or not. But, yeah, that name drop, incredibly important. I do believe that the name is probably going to be very significant to who it could potentially be, but we'll find out in the future. Now, anyways, let's get into the real content. Something that blew me away with this chapter, and I even went to social media, Twitter, to talk about it. If you haven't heard, the past few weeks, Horikoshi's kind of been getting thrown under the bus. And the reason why is because a bunch of certain people on social media have not liked the fact that Endeavor has been going through his own arc, redemption arc, and trying to, you know, go through character development. People have not been liking that, or a certain select group, so to say. And there's been a lot of hatred that's been flung at Horikoshi. And it seems like with this chapter, Horikoshi answered all sides. He answered the people that were on the fence, such as myself. He answered the people that were willing to accept Endeavor. And he answered the people that were just people that hated Endeavor and just could never accept it. He answered all three sides to the argument with Endeavor and what just happened in this arc. And I am very surprised, pleased, and I just want to say, Horikoshi, this is why I respect your writing. This is why I love My Hero Academia, because what you have been doing with, you know, all our characters. Endeavor, in general, just is blowing my mind with his development he's been getting. Even in this chapter, the development he got. So let's get into what I'm talking about. So basically, in a brief little exchange between Natsu and Endeavor, Natsu yells at Endeavor's like, just because you were a hero on the news and all that, just because you save people and everybody are calling you cool, that you're the #1 hero, whatever, does not mean that what you did in the past is just gone. Which, you know what Natsu's saying, it's correct. You know, just because he just did a lot of good doesn't mean all the things he did in the past is just gone like that. It's not a clean slate. It's not. It's never going to be. And that's the thing, though. He represented the side that did not like Endeavor and never wanted to forgive him no matter what good he does. That is what Natsu is representing. And I cannot fault Natsu's emotions in that scene. I can't. And the reason why is because he is the son of Endeavor. he has experienced what Endeavor has done. He has firsthand seen it. He has been, separated from his siblings, or at the very least, Shoto. He has had his older brother, Toya, just gone and all that. So, I mean, obviously, a lot of horrible things has happened to his family. He has firsthand seen the horrors of what Endeavor is capable of. And just because he sees Endeavor become a #1 hero, trying to appear to be a great hero or is a good hero, doesn't mean everything he did is gone. And so, I cannot hate Natsu for his reaction in the chapter. Anyone that wants to hate on him, honestly, is not understanding the message there. How meaningful it is, and that it's not that easy to forgive someone for what they have done to you. Now, another point of view is, the sister of Shoto that just seems to be willing to forgive Endeavor. Natsu even pointed this out. He's like, Mom and, my sister, they seem to be just done and want to forgive you and just move on. Which they represent the side that just wants to, or the side of the community that just wants to forgive Endeavor and just move on with the story. Just like, okay, let's get on to the next thing. And honestly, I can understand that side as well. It's because sometimes it's best to forgive and just move on. And that's kind of how they are. They just want to be normal again. They just want to have a family again. And so, in that moment, you're like, you know what? I can't really, argue with that reaction as well. Now, Shoto's reaction to the entire exchange between Natsu, his sister, the mother, and all of that, he's like, look, you're a good hero. You're an amazing hero. You have done a fantastic job. What you did out there was insane. And in a way, Todoroki's always been like this. Shoto has always, respected his father, at the very least, for being a great hero. He's always done that, even a long time ago. But he did not like him as a person or like him as a father because of what he's done. And in the chapter, he's like, you're a great hero and all that, but I do want to see how you change or how you become a better dad, a better father. And so he's like, look, the reason how I can feel or think like this is because I also understand how a small little inspiration can change you and make progress for you to where you might be different. For instance, what Izuku did for him in the past, stepping up and saving him to where he could finally face his mother once again and then face his father. So basically, he's like, look, coming from experience, I know someone could change. I know someone's outlook can change and all that. And I'm like, I'm not going to put you down thinking you can't change. But I want to see it. I'm not forgiving you. I probably will never forgive you. But at this time, no, I want to give you a chance. I want to see how you change. So Shoto represents the community that's straight down the middle. The one on the fence. Which represents me entirely. I like Endeavor. He's been a great hero these past couple chapters. I've, praised him a lot. He's a very cool character. I love his character. Definitely one of my favorite characters of My Hero Academia right now. But the thing is, though, it doesn't mean I forgive all the horrific crap he has done throughout the series. And so, my opinion is pretty much Shoto's. So, yeah, I think Horikoshi, the way he handled that moment in the chapter, it's stunning. It really is. It's impressive storytelling, and I think many will agree with me on that point of this chapter, that honestly was the best way to handle every single argument about Endeavor's character and the family situation. Now, moving past all of that, though, let's also talk about how Hawks was doing in this chapter. So, it's been very clear that Hawks, he's playing a very dangerous game right now. He is, playing both sides in a way. Even though he's on the hero side, he's having to play the hero side as well because he needs to get information out of the villains. Now, we already found out about this, obviously, in the last chapter. But the thing about this chapter is that we get a little bit more of an extension to Hawks' character and what he's kind of going through, the burden that he has taken upon his shoulders or on his back, his wings, that might drag him down and he might never fly once again. What I'm talking about is he has to take the darkness upon himself. He pretty much says that in this chapter. And I mentioned this in my last chapter review, that this could eventually lead into Hawks not being a hero anymore. See, he may be a great guy, and he is a great guy. He's doing a lot of good right now. But all the things he has seen, or what he's going to see from the villain side and all of that, and the hero side, he might become corrupted. He might fall as a hero, which I think would be a good extension to the Icarus symbolism, because Icarus fell from the sky and can no longer fly. And maybe it's not symbolic for maybe Hawks would lose his wings, but maybe he just might lose his ideals or what he wants. to achieve. Maybe instead of him wanting to have, a lifestyle where all heroes can relax, that might fall, and he might not ever want that again, and he might just want to just destroy the hero society, because he's seen so much, it just needs to change. I mean, I feel like the way the story is going, it's prepping up for two outcomes. One, Hawks is going to die, which that's the easy outcome, honestly, for his character, in terms of just writing standpoint. But another one, depending on how Horikoshi handles it, could be that Hawks will fall as a hero and become a villain, which would be very sad, but would hold a lot of impact, especially because of someone so noble, someone that has such an honorable goal, would fall to the, the dark. It would be interesting how Horikoshi would handle something like that. And we really haven't had, a theme like that yet in the series. I mean, we know that there's a traitor and all of that, but we haven't really had a real, actual traitor, like someone that falls from being a hero into a villain. I mean, we've had vigilantes and stuff in, the My Hero Academia spinoff, but we haven't actually legit had, a hero that falls and becomes a villain. So, I feel like Hawks might be that type of character, to fall from grace and become a villain. So who knows? But I feel bad for him. I really feel bad for him now in his situation because of what he's going through. And, I mean, even having to lie to his idol has to be extremely painful. Which, I don't know how many of you noticed that, but there was a panel where Hawks, when he was younger, you see an Endeavor shirt on him. Which, this was already obvious for a while now that Hawks was a fan of Endeavor. I mean, when we had the whole little, thing of how Hawks viewed Endeavor from the back and, wanted to cheer him on, we knew right then and there that Hawks was inspired by Endeavor. He was a big fan of Endeavor. We knew this. So that was something that was already common knowledge by now. But Horikoshi went out of his way to basically confirm to everybody that did not notice that yes, Hawks was a major fan of Endeavor. He always respected and admired him, and that is why, he's, actually trying to he feels guilty right now. Why he feels guilty about lying to Endeavor is because his idol, he's having to lie to him. It's like if Izuku had to lie to All Might. You gotta realize that Izuku would not like that feeling whatsoever. He would be very upset, mentally distraught, if he had to lie to All Might just to be able to achieve something. So, Hawks is also going through a lot of mental issues because of, what he's having to do right now in the story. But yeah, that's pretty much it when it comes to Hawks and the Endeavor stuff. So let's get into that final scene. We have One For All, the original user of One For All, appear at the end of the chapter. Let's be real here. Many are probably going to look at that ending segment and think, okay, so Izuku is like the Avatar now? He could see things from the past, he could see the previous users of One For All? Many might start to say that, and in a lot of ways you would not be wrong with that assessment. But at the same time, many might assume that this came out of nowhere, which I want to refute that opinion and let you know that no, it did not. Ever since, the tournament art, it was a long time ago. It was Season 2, maybe? Yeah, it was Season 2. Early stages of Season 2. In that arc, Izuku had, a little vision that showed that there was, 7, little dots that was connected in history that he felt within him when he was using One For All. And that was showcasing the previous users. So this element of, this Avatar-looking style thing did not just come out of nowhere. It actually has been around for a while. It just, Horikoshi is finally expanding upon it in this chapter. Now, the question is, how far does this extend? Does this just extend to where he's gaining the memories of the individuals, or is it something else? I mean, we do know that the ability of One For All is stockpiling. It stockpiles a lot of strength and is passed on to the next user. So, technically, All Might's 100% is like Izuku's 95%, so to say, okay? It's always getting stronger by every single generation. So, technically, All Might was way beyond what the original users were ever capable of. And that's just how the quirk works. But what if there was more extensions to the quirk that we were unaware of? For instance, what if there was ability to maybe talk to the original owners, or, be able to inherit their visions or their memories, what they went through in their life, to be able to incorporate that into your fighting style. Something like that could potentially be possible for all we know. Or the quirk is mutating. We do know that quirks can mutate. It's not, completely been explained. That's not been completely dived into in terms of the story. So for all we know, maybe the quirk is mutating even more or something, for all we know. But The point is, though, is we're about to get a lot of information about All for One and One for All, which is pretty freaking exciting, because we do know that it was to start the origin of everything that went down in the story, and once we have a good grasp on what happened to how All for One was, to how One for All was the original user, then we'll know the truth on how this will affect Izuku going forward in the series. So, I'm pretty excited. It looks like these upcoming chapters are probably going to be even better than the previous chapters we got with Endeavor, which I'm extremely excited about. I really cannot wait to see what goes down. If, All for One is going to go all in against his brother, I mean, we'll have to see. But that's pretty much it when it comes to this week's chapter. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe. If you like this video, please leave a like. And if you want to get notified for whenever I upload a video, please click the bell icon down below. And with that, Chibi out.